2845 CE, 500 light years from Earth in the Cygnus constellation, Kepler 186f orbits the dwarf star Kepler 186 along with its four siblings. With a 130-day orbit and only receiving one-third of the energy from its own sun that Earth receives, it exists on the very edge of what could be considered a habitable exoplanet. There are two kinds of people on the surface of this wasteland, those who want to be there and those who have to be. Spread across the equator of the planet are long strings of beautiful habitation bubbles ranging in size from small clusters of homes all the way up to small cities. These bubbles serve as both permanent housing and vacation spots for some of the galaxy's most affluent citizens. But outside of these bubbles, life looks very different. As beautiful and luscious as the cities are on Kepler 186f, the surrounding wasteland is equally inhospitable. Vast red grasslands stretch as far as the eye can see, only occasionally pockmarked by ridges or canyons. Scattered across the surface of the planet, one can find the occasional town. Most are dedicated to the mining or harvesting of some mineral or resource, with the occasional haven for those no longer welcome in society. All in all, if you find yourself on Kepler 186f and not on vacation, you are most likely not happy to be there. But your group does not fall into either of those categories. For one reason or another, each of you has been called into the service of a clandestine organization known as the Sect of the Seven Divines. Their purpose is to seek out the darkest corners of our galaxy and to make them a little lighter. Sometimes that comes in the form of building up cities, nations, or worlds that would otherwise crumble, but not for you. You are here because each of you, in one way or another, has demonstrated that you are capable of doing what most others cannot, by hunting the monsters that haunt people's dreams. And it is on such a mission that you find yourselves today. Rumors have spread of a small mining town on the far side of Kepler that has become tortured by an evil presence. Unfortunately, locals have been very withholding in sharing of any information. So as your ship touches down on the edges of a town known only as Dead End, and you step down onto the dry and dusty red ground, you do not know what it is you will face, only that you are the only hope for this small town and its inhabitants. All right. So you step down into the town of Dead End.
Ooh.
So I will leave that up to you all. You are down here. Let me give you player control.
Okay, so we've already kind of picked up Yafai to do the mission. Oh, I'm muted. So we've already picked up Anika, Yafai. We've already kind of worked all that out. We're already together. We're about to do this thing. Space
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay.
Yep. That is where we start ourselves. All right, you guys should have all of yours. And once Joe gets in here, we'll give him his. So this is a small town. It's called Dead End. As you can see from your map, it's a small cluster of buildings. Pretty ramshackle, pretty run down. To your, pretty well trained eye, you can see that they're mostly just homes, with a couple of town buildings mixed in there as well. But not very big. It is what you see, and there's nothing else really around it except for some small cliffs off to the west. What would you like to do?
So we could see most of the town. We landed, so from there, so we saw the town. If we didn't study it on the way in, what are these? What are the town buildings that aren't residential?
Yeah. So this, it's a great question. This is the local watering hole, the pub, the bar, inn, and this is it used to be a church. It's not what I would call active as much anymore. It's a little run down by looking at it, but it is that is the other building. Other than that, you're just looking at residences here.
Is it busy at all? Are there like people walking around doing their thing, or does it seem pretty dead?
There's a few. What time did you guys of day did you guys land your ship? Am I going to assume it's in the morning?
Yeah, I think that makes sense because we need to try to gather the information we need, and that would need to be during when people are about.
Okay. Yeah. So I would say you see people moving around. You see some people working in their gardens. There seems to be a number of people hanging out here, um, and at the pub at the inn, and then people milling around. I mean, it's a small town. There's probably a few dozen inhabitants tops. Well, sorry, a few dozen families. A few buildings outside of what you can see here, but not more than maybe 100 people.
So has our contract or job or whatever been really explained to us, or I guess to me? Do I know what the goal is going into this town?
Um, that would be up to, ideally, it would be Joe who'd be here explaining that. But I'll say in his stead, I'll let Ross tell you whether or not how much information have you given them in the ship ride over from the closest major city, Ross?
I like to imagine that we've uh, in good faith told Annalise, or I'm sorry, Annika and Yafai everything that's going on and what our goal here is. I think I probably would have anyways.
Right.
Whatever Joe, even if Joe was reticent to give info, I probably would have anyway.
Even maybe if it was behind Joe's back, Joe liked to keep everything clandestine, but you guys gathered around the water cooler and helped him out a little bit.
Yeah, I think that probably happened. So yeah.
Okay. Well, the sun's coming up over the edge of the. I imagine you guys probably got a pretty early start. You're old hands at this, so the sun's coming up over the the distant bluff where the cliffs are. Everything's a beautiful glow of red. The grass itself is red, and the dwarf star that this planet orbits is pretty dim anyway. So think of the day as almost a perpetual dusk. Very good mood lighting for monster hunting. But you can see looking around that people are out walking around, but there's not a lot of loitering. You don't see people standing around talking to each other outside of their houses. They kind of seem to go from one place to the other. If they're outside, it's because they're working. There's not really, they're not walking over and borrowing cups of sugar, so to speak.
Have they noticed us yet?
You guys are on the very outskirts of town, so I would say they probably saw your ship come down, but you're not getting the feeling that people are super curious in this town. I don't think.
Okay.
Well, I think that we should go avail ourselves of the food and service that these people have.
So you'd like to go to the inn?
Yeah, I think we should go to the inn and try to eavesdrop and try to gather information. So we don't know
I agree with this.
their attitudes yet. Except my understanding is that like a Khalid, is it Khalid or is it Salade?
It's good.
Khalid. They wouldn't have a negative attitude toward a Khalid, right? They don't treat people with respect, right? But they wouldn't like.
Correct. They probably just laugh as like, I don't know, like a really smart pet or something. Like not openly disdainful, but just kind of lesser than.
Right. Yeah. So I think we could go to the bar and be able to try to gather information and listen in.
All right. Let's take our way down to the tavern. I guess I better copy you guys over. Give me just 1 second. I tried to practice as much as I could all the dynamics to this Roll20 thing.
Can I attempt to investigate a mystery on the way there? Is that
sure.
version of a perception check? My goal would be to try to see if. So you said that people are focused on their tasks. They're not curious, and people, if they're milling about, they're on their way to business. They're not people kind of being idle.
No, they kind of got their heads down.
Yeah, so we noticed that, right? So, like, as we're walking to the bar, can I notice anything that's out of place? Like, for example, that, you know, certain buildings seem to be in disuse or unoccupied, like, or that certain resources, like that a mining town would need, it doesn't seem like they're actually being put to use. Like that something's just not the way it ought to be for a functioning mining town.
Well, go ahead and roll plus sharp. Roll 2d6 and add for you would be +1.
I got a 6.
You got a nat 6 or a 5 + 1.
5 + 1.
All right. So you have failed that roll. So I'm going to say that you are you're walking along and you're starting to get nosy. People see you kind of poking your head in barns and trying to look around, and people start to get a little hostile. You're not getting a great vibe from this town. They probably would have been a little more receptive to you, but they don't like nosy strangers. So
Yeah.
you can go ahead and mark experience.
Okay.
Alrighty. So you're walking over to the tavern. Would you? Let me see. Hold on. Before you rolled, I had no idea what failing an investigative mystery was. So we learned that now. All right. So you walk up to the tavern. Does everyone have control of their characters here?
Yeah.
C.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, as you walk in the front door of the tavern, you walk in and it's a small tavern. I mean, it's not big. You can tell there's some doors that lead off to back rooms, but it's a warm place. It's a comforting place. Because the sun is so far away from Kepler, it's always kind of cold. Like, its winters are brutal. But regardless of where you are on the planet, there's not really a tropical zone, so to speak. So you walk in, it's warm, it's cozy, you can smell there's some meat cooking. You guys have traveled enough to not ask what it is. You're greeted by Remington Sadler, the town barkeeper and inn owner. And he says, "Hail and well met, travelers."
I go up to the bar and I say, "Well met, sir. We'll take your very best."
All right, for all four of you?
Yes.
We're gonna pretend. Actually, we're gonna say Joe had to stay on the ship to work on some stuff. So just 3 of you right now.
What was the guy's name again?
Remington Sadler is his name. He announced that when you walked in. He told you his name. Also, the bar is named the Remington.
Oh man. Does anybody want to try to do any moves? I don't want to hog this. Sorry. I'm gonna be useless once I get in the dungeon.
Well,
Presumably
I nod along when he asks if we all want drinks, and while he's going to get them, I just kind of like gaze around the room, watching for anyone acting suspiciously.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, there's a few people sitting around the tables. They eye you up and down, but then go back to their drinks. And they all seem to be workers of some kind. This is all a very blue collar town.
Can I use my grifter feature?
What is that?
I can at any time ask you, what will it take to convince this person to do what I want? And you have to answer honestly, but not necessarily completely.
Okay. Um, well, you can see um, that that Remington behind the bar, um, he has a gun back there, but I would say with your trained eye, you can probably tell that it doesn't have any ammunition in it.
Okay.
So if you were to want to get him on your good side, get on his good side, uh, there's probably something other than cash, I'd say, that you could use to motivate him.
Like violence?
Well,
Max.
I would also say that you look at him, and he's a big guy who's been in a couple fights, and you can look around and tell that despite everyone being a pretty rough crowd, they all seem to be really well behaved inside of Remington's bar.
I'm gonna try this. God help me. So I guess this would my move, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it would be manipulate someone would be the move, I think. And this is what I would try. I would say, you know, Remington, this town, you all seem like a really hard-working sort of people.
Well, thank you, sir. We do pride ourselves on being able to get the job done and provide their city folk with the things that they need.
Yeah, I could see that. And you know, places that put in such hard work, I feel like they ought to be rewarded. And he pulls out, let's see, I have ammunition for a hunting rifle. Would that go close enough?
Sure. Count it.
I put like half my ammunition up on the table, and I start to push it toward him.
He looks around and he says, "Well, thank you, sir." And he quickly swipes it grabs it and puts it underneath the bar.
Before he swipes it, I like pull it back.
Okay.
That's my attempt. I don't suppose that hard-working ethic would, you would help some strangers out and help us find our way about town.
Remington's no bumpkin. So he looks at you and he says, "Well, sir, I can tell you it probably won't hurt. Won't hurt your chances."
Okay.
The game mechanic is this: if you bribe him, I'm going to give you a little bump to your charm for your roll.
Okay. Then I give him the ammunition.
All right. So you are rolling with +2 charm. I'm going to let you roll +3 charm on that.
Okay. Let's see. 7 + 3 is 10.
All right. So on a 10 plus, they'll do it for the reason that you give them. If you asked too much, they'll tell you the minimum it would take for them to do it. Okay. So you've already done that. So you have succeeded completely on that roll. So what would you like from Remington?
Remington, we've heard that this town has suffered from some troubles. That something's on the minds of the people here. We're as you can see, we just like to help people. We think we might have a solution. If you could just point us in the right direction.
So you can see, despite, obviously having succeeded in convincing Remington to help you, you can see Remington is immediately uncomfortable. He stiffens up. His eyes start to shift around a little bit, worrying that people are going to notice you guys talking. But he does answer. You helped him, and so he looks and he says, "Well, sir, there are some things that you just don't talk about in public, but I will tell you that if you go back in the back room. Our town baker is named Audrey, and she can give you what you need.
Okay. Well, it would just be a delight to get to speak with Audrey. You mind if we head on back?
He slides you your beer, and you can tell there's something underneath your beer. When you lift it up, there's a key to a back room, and I just pinged Audrey. Audrey Chalker is the town baker.
All right. I should we should all go. We should all go. What do y'all think? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if splitting up or
Yeah.
definitely staying alone would be the best idea.
Oh, I wasn't even
Yeah.
inside.
No, I was like, first I was like, maybe I should, and I was like, no, we should go all together because this is
Yep, I'm just gonna
could be a monster and we don't know.
casually make my way around here, and I don't know where the door is.
There's a door
There it
right
is.
Yep. He
Gonna
lets you
head on
find
in
more.
there. And
Oh, Anika.
gonna hang out in the corner like a creepy little mage. And
They didn't give you good eyes in that frozen place that you're up, hey.
Yeah. Anika's standing in the corner talking to a bag of barley, and she's convinced. She says, "So, Audrey, tell me." All right, Yafai, you joining him?
Yep, I'm headed back.
All right.
No.
We open the door, knock. Excuse me. Do you mind if we join you for a moment? Sorry to
come
interrupt
right
you.
on
What-
in.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you
not
so
at all.
much.
Not at all. It's so nice to meet you all. What are your names?
My name's Vax, and this is my friend Anika and Yafai. And do I notice what she's cooking or making?
She's kneading dough on that big work table. It's a big old. It's like a big, those hardwood butcher blocks that you see like in kitchens and stuff. She's just working some dough back there. You can look over and see that there are some logs. Some loaves that are baking over this fire in the corner, and despite a farm town that smells like what you'd think a farm town smells like, this room smells incredible.
Are you the baker for this establishment?
I sure am. That's so sweet of you to notice.
This smells amazing. Yeah, I've been to so many planets in this sector. This is the best smell. I have got to have some of what you're making.
Well, of course. And she cuts y'all off some bread.
Oh, you did? I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, this is just... I'm not impressed at all. I'm completely lying. I'm like, this is just the best bread I've had. And at least 4 planets. The very best. It's not. It's garbage. But I don't say that.
I pretend to eat it, and I hide it in one of my sleeves.
Yeah, loves it. He just like fucking goes wherever he's going.
You're like, it is the best. It's like, I can't believe I have bread.
You can tell eating this bread that it is very much do the best with what you got sort of situation.
Yeah.
It's probably not wheat that she's making this out of, but whether it's some derivative of the red grass here. It does kind of have a red tint, but if you haven't noticed already, red seems to be the general color scheme for this planet. So I guess probably if it were something where you grew up in this town, this would be perfect. Your mom probably made this growing up, and it's a special treat for you.
Audrey, we were speaking to Remington earlier, and my friends and I, we had heard about what this town is called Dead End.
Dead End.
We had heard about your town, and we were on our way through, and we had heard that something is just on the minds of people here, and we just have it in our hearts. Is there like a prevailing religion or piety? Is it corporatist or religious? Like what is it like? What is like the common ethic or piety among people at this point in the year 2845?
Are you asking the keeper?
Now, this is out of character. Yeah, I'm asking
Yeah.
Joel. Yeah, sorry.
I would say, from what you can tell, um, based on the state of the local religious establishment, it's not a highly religious community. You're not going to find a lot of devoted members of a church. Not a very pious people. They're just a hardworking folk.
All right. I we see that people are just that they do just such a great job here. I really admire you all. I mean, look at this. This bread is amazing, and well, um, it just breaks our hearts that something is on the minds of people here, and we're a type of folk that we like to try to make things right. We've got some tools to do that. So Remington, he had suggested you might know that something is going on in town, something that's bothering people.
She has stopped kneading her bread. She's kind of standing there by the edge of the table where she was. Her hands are still in the dough, but she's just kind of frozen. And she pauses for a while and she says, "Oh, that's bad business. That it's been going on for a while now. No one really knows what's happening. All we do know is that you better not go out at night. There are things out there, and we don't know what it is. No one who's seen it has come back and told us about it. But there's things out there that are far scarier than any cold or any raiders or any disease. Now, I haven't lost anyone personally, but there are a few people in town who have been hurt by it. A couple people have lost loved ones, lost children. Theo Brewer and his wife seem to have lost a child or two. His wife, Sarah. I'd say if you wanted more answers about that, they'd probably be a good person to talk to, if they'll talk to you. And then, of course, that's, hold on, sorry, I lost my place. Yeah. So she tells you that there's a family in town called the Brewers, Theo and Sarah. But she seems to have kind of clammed up a little bit. Like she's not hostile, she's not angry, but you're not getting the feeling that anyone in this town really wants to talk about this.
Okay. Do you guys want to do anything?
Just to review, guys, you've got in your list of moves, if you don't have the list right in front of you, I guess I could have covered this in the beginning a little more thoroughly, but for moves, you've got kick some ass, act under pressure, help out, investigate a mystery, which is a good one to use in situations where you're kind of trying to figure things out, manipulate someone, protect someone, read a bad situation, use magic or big magic.
No, I think I just kind of want to get to hunting.
So I'll tell you, or I'll get a little meta here, since we're all new to this system. You guys don't know what it is you're going to be fighting.
Yeah.
And a lot of how your success in fighting monsters in this game comes down to what you can know or what you can find out before. So there's probably more information you can get from Audrey. Audrey's nice. You complimented her bread. You made her feel good. So you got all of that without rolling for anything. But if you guys want more than that from Audrey, you're gonna have to work for it.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to use my grifter feature again. I gotta shoot all my ammo here. That's my main class feature. So
Okay.
What's the grifter?
I will be right back. My headphones are about to die.
okay,
All right.
the grifter feature is it's a thing that the cricket has that says the keeper has to tell me what I would need to do to make this person do what I want them to do. Basically,
Ooh, that's nice.
that's like the one thing that my character can do. So, like, I'm not useful in combat, so you guys might as well use me now.
No, that's awesome. Yaf is the opposite. I mean, he can fight with the best of them, but he is not a charming.
No, Vax stacked all you guys' charm.
Min-max that right there.
Well, and that's the cool thing about, man, I could talk about this system all day long. I love it. But, you guys, when you min-maxing, I think it's less of an issue in this game as you might find in another.
It only gives me like a +2 for the things that I'm strong in. So
right, and this game is so much heavier on your team dynamic than other RPGs are. I've never played another RPG. I've played ones where people have collaborated a little bit, like tried to figure out. I usually try to figure out because I enjoy playing in D&D. I enjoy playing melee characters and stuff. So I try to, but usually there ends up being like 14 casters and then like 1 or 2 melee guys. So you can kind of balance it that way. But this game is so heavy on it that you kind of do need to have a charming guy, and then you got to have somebody who's, if you're dealing with some more magical type stuff, you want to have that. So, having 3 to 5 people and really figuring out those, obviously we spent a whole session just figuring out how you guys interact and stacking the game relies on that dynamic so much more than, a D&D or anything else like that.
okay, yeah, I definitely want to. I don't know what the verb of grifter is. I want to grift her. That sounds weird.
Grifter, I hardly know her.
Grift is a verb. Yeah.
Okay. So she doesn't need much. I mean, she was already flattered by your compliment of her bread. It was a smooth move. Let me see. Oh, Audrey.
Well, actually, let me express what I want to accomplish. My intention is actually one. It's like either and or, and it is that certainly if she could provide. It sounds like she doesn't have more information because it sounds like she's been like many. The impression I'm getting is that the townspeople have kept themselves ensconced and kept their heads buried in the ground, and they don't want to deal with this. And that's the impression I'm getting from her. But the other thing I'd be interested in is keeping her quiet. Like, you didn't see us. You didn't hear from us. I don't want you talking about us.
So there are obviously things, whether it's one thing or a couple, I would say you guys, and maybe this is a bad keeper play here, but I would say you guys can tell that like there are things that are being left unsaid. She mentioned that there was something out there in the dark, but whether it's the nature of that thing or whether it's someone who might know more, maybe there's somebody who's involved with it. Like there's something that they're not really comfortable talking about.
I think I have an idea. What if she maybe thought that we were associated with that terrible thing? Maybe more terrible than the terrible thing. Like, why are we suddenly showing up? Maybe it's because we know things. What? And if so, what could those people maybe do to you? Since we're playing kind of a grim kind of thing.
So are you wanting to go more of the manipulation as opposed to investigation route?
If she knows things, then definitely if I can get that sense. And so I guess the grifting is, do I think maybe I can spook her? Like, my thought is if this thing is so terrible, what kind of people would come out and seek it out?
Okay. Well, I mean, she's obviously a kindly. She's not old. I'd say she's not by any means. I'd say she's probably late 30s, early 40s. But she's not a large woman, so I'll give you that. I would say she's probably easily threatenable.
I'm threatening an old lady already. 15 minutes in.
Great start.
Didn't take
I
long.
want to help him on his threatening her with the help out action.
You want to help him out? Okay.
Yeah.
So when you help another hunter, roll plus cool.
Yeah.
On a
I
10
have
plus,
0
your
cool
help.
though, so.
So on a 10 plus, your help grants them +1 to their roll. On a 7 to 9, your help grants them +1 to their roll, but you also expose yourself to trouble or danger.
I got a 7.
All right. So here's how this is going to happen. He gets a +1 to his roll. And Ross, I'm sorry, I'm still trying to figure out how what the game techniques of how it works out.
Could I describe what I'm doing first, and then if it goes sideways, I don't know if this is how it would work or not. But it's just, what do you think? Because I have an idea. I have an idea what he would try to say, and then I don't know how. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm just I'm trying to figure out how when you use your grifter, does that mean you automatically succeed on a manipulate someone? That's kind of what I'm.
Oh no, I'll read it. Definitely not. No. I don't automatically succeed. What it is the thing. Well, this is my impression. Is the thing you did the first time is what I get. I don't get a success on a check. I get the component that would help me succeed. I don't know if it would give me a plus. That's what you did the first time, or if it would. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, would it be like I don't think so. That seems OP. Automatically.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. I can look into that a little bit.
Yeah. I thought it made sense what you did, like give a 1 or 2 or something. Obviously, 1 or 2 numbers in this game seems to be those big numbers.
Yeah, a +1 to anything is chunky. Let's play. So I did that the first one. Let's play that way the rest of this round, the rest of this session, and then I'll try to dig into that a little bit and see. Right now, it seems to be working. So you already have a +2. So I'd say you have looked at her and determined that she'd probably be easily scarable. And so I'll give you that extra, that +1 so a total +3 charm.
So this is what I do then. Or let me bring this back. This is what Vax does. He gets really close to Audrey, and he leans in. He's got like this trench coat. I'll show you guys. This is what Vax looks like, and he like leans in, and he's like, Audrey. This sounds like a terrible thing that your people are going through, and I'm so sorry to hear that. And it sounds like you don't get many visitors. Doesn't sound like a lot of people come in from out of town. So if people were to come in from out of town and they were trying to find this thing, what kind of crazy people would do that? And like as he says that, he like kind of shows Audrey that he's got like the weapons and stuff, and he's like, somebody that was looking for something so terrible, they would just, would they be more terrible?
Oh, sir, there's no need for that at all. Please don't hurt me, sir. I'm just a lonely baker here.
Audrey.
I'm kind of picturing my help as like when she starts stammering, I like smack my staff on the ground to push her fear over the edge a little bit. Sorry.
I wipe some baking stuff off her face. I'm like, Audrey, I would never hurt you.
Okay, you got to roll.
Okay.
Plus charm, +3.
12.
Okay, that's a total success. So we're gonna. So she's
of course he would say, so, if there's anything on your mind that's bothering you that you might want to share with us, we're all ears and we're here for you. Okay, that's it.
Okay, fine. I didn't want to say anything because she's kind of crazy and there's no telling what she'll tell you. But the only person who seems to know anything about this is Martha. She's the old crazy lady who lives in the rundown house on the edge of town. But if she tells you something crazy, it wasn't me. Please don't hurt me, sir. Please don't hurt me.
I would never hurt you. I would never hurt you, Audrey. I'm so sorry that you would feel that way. These are terrible times. You know, maybe we should go speak to Martha. And we didn't have this conversation at all, of course. And do you mind if I have some bread, Audrey?
Please take whatever you want. I won't tell anyone.
It's so good. It's so good. And like I walk off and I eat some of the bread.
Alrighty, so you guys have successfully terrified the helpless middle-aged baker.
I don't feel good about this at all. I'm not taking any joy. Oh man, I gotta rethink this. I think I'd rather be the nice alien. Can I switch with you, Caleb? Damn it.
I mean, Yap is kind of nice, but like, not gonna lie, he
can also shred people apart with.
I'm not. So I'm nobody. I don't think. I'm not going to tell you guys what your characters are, but I'm not getting the sense that anyone in this party's got clean hands.
Yeah.
There's,
honestly, just respect that move.
There's not a Luke Skywalker in this group. You're all Hans to one degree or another.
Yeah. Okay.
It's more realistic that way.
So, let's see. What are you guys going to do next? You've manipulated successfully Audrey, the helpless baker woman, who was just trying.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
I wasn't 100% sure.
So she's given you 2 pieces of information, 2 people you could talk to. What do you guys want to do?
I think we should go straight for Martha.
Yes, I believe this Martha should be our next stop.
We don't want to mess around. We got to find this thing and kill it. And we got to find out what it is.
And I just casually walk up to I forgot the alien's name.
Yeah. I
I just casually walk up to him and I'm just pulling my bread out of my sleeve and sliding it to him. And I'm just like, Ir nastavnik, which is Russian for mentor.
Yes, more bread.
Love that. Here for it.
Because I saw he was totally into the bread, so I just rolled with it.
Okay, this is totally unrelated, and it happened. He moved ahead, so this is not related to that. So Vax steps outside and has this bread, and he's just he throws it into the bushes, and he wipes his clothes off, and he tries to find something to wipe his hands off from the grime.
All right. Well, let's get you all over to. So, is the consensus Martha's house?
I'm gonna ask.
Sorry.
Audrey. Oh, no, it's fine. I was just gonna say, Yap is gonna ask Audrey. So how exactly? You say crazy. How crazy is crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, nobody knows. She's been living here longer than any of us can remember. That's for sure. Keeps to herself mostly, but there's just something not right about that woman.
I was gonna say, when I see Vax throw away his bread like an asshole, I just mutter under my breath, "Dobicha, Dobika." I have no idea how to pronounce these words.
That's right. You get
Dobycha, Dobita, Dobika. Whatever. I'm calling him Prey
there we go. All right.
because I saved his ass.
You guys are heading over to the house of.
Okay. Since we've already been told this is a crazy woman, I kind of want to investigate the perimeter and make sure that we don't end up trapped or she's in there and we're not, she runs away.
Am I?
So are you asking to roll an investigate a mystery check?
Yeah, I think I want to make sure we can get information out of her without worrying about her fleeing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So just to review on investigate a mystery, when you investigate a mystery, roll plus sharp. On a 10 plus, hold 2, and on a 7 to 9, hold 1. One hold can be spent to ask the keeper one of the following questions: what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? So, we can bend those a little bit, but go ahead and roll your plus sharp for investigate a mystery.
Can I help out?
Yes, you may.
I will gladly wait for him to help out. Yeah.
You've got plus 2 to sharp, Sean. So, Yaf, go ahead and roll for help out. So roll plus cool.
Okay. It's only a 4.
Okay, so you failed. We're gonna say that nothing happened here, but you did step into a pan and make a whole fuck ton of noise. So go ahead and roll plus your sharp.
7.
7. So you get a hold 1. So you can ask me. I'll let you, if you want to twist one of these questions a little bit. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? Or what is being concealed here? So the questions about creatures, I'll let you ask those kind of about Martha.
About her. Okay. She's already been called crazy and lives on the outskirts of town, so I guess a question about her would be, is she something to be wary of?
So you look at this house, and you can tell that it's run down, yes, but it's definitely been owned by somebody who cares. Like, there's some small flowers planted out front. It's kept tidy for a very run-down house. You are not getting the sense of, like, a dangerous witch that turns children into toads or something like this. So I would say no. Like, it's, historically, when women are called crazy, it's not usually actually because they're crazy. It's just because they're different.
Yes, I've also heard the tale of Joan of Arc, yes.
Or just every woman in any history book, really. Look, Salem Witch Trials is a good place to start. So, no, I wouldn't say she's dangerous. You don't get the sense that you're in any immediate threat.
Okay, then I just kind of want to approach what I assume is the door here.
Yep.
And just be like, Nastovnik, Dobicha, come along.
Do I hear wind chimes, Joel? That's awesome. Is it?
I mean, let's spend a lot of time on the audio for this thing.
Yeah.
Well, now I feel guilty because I have my computer muted. You're on my phone.
That's
That's
all right.
so good. You're missing out, Sean. But okay. So we went inside. Is that what happened?
Well, I would encourage you to knock.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. God, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I'm Russian. I'm not rude.
Vax is still in full harass old women mode. He's
I'm
kicking
not
that damn
trying
door
to
down.
make this about me, like accosting old women.
I'm so used to fucking, like, inns or places where I know everyone inside, like the Golden Nut. So I just walked right the fuck in.
We're off the edge of the map, buddy.
Yeah, and you're doing Felsane stuff. But I get it.
Yeah, I
am.
am.
Okay, I knock on the door. I'm like, gently and normally, like a normal person, because we're all normal here.
Can you say normal again?
Normally, yes.
You hear some movement inside, and you hear, hello? Who is it?
Hello, miss. We had been directed to speak with you. We're from out of town, and we could use some help.
Oh, come in, dearie, please. And the door comes open.
Yeah, he gently opens. He comes into the room. He says, "Oh, why, thank you so much, miss. Thank you for taking the time."
Yes, please take a seat. I don't have much, but what's mine is yours. And she goes into the kitchen and begins. You can hear her rifling around and grabbing bottles and some stuff. You can tell she's putting a little food together for you guys.
I sit here, but I'm like watching her the whole time.
I'm gonna put
like
one
not
on
watching her,
the
but I'm like
table.
watching the door.
Yeah, if you walk in and she says, "Oh, you're a funny little thing, aren't you? Where are you from?"
Yeah, I'm from here, kinda. If you're asking.
Oh, that's amazing. I've never met one of your kind before. What are you called?
Usually not very nice things.
Oh, well, there's no time for that in this house. What do you like to be called?
You can call me Yaf. I'm a Kalei.
Well, Yaf, I am so pleased to meet you. Is there anything specific that you'd like to eat? I don't know what your type likes to eat.
I like bugs. You got bugs.
Oh well, I'll tell you, if lift this chest up here in the corner, there's probably a whole family of beetles for you.
Okay. Yaf is gonna head on over and start scrounging for some bugs.
Okay. She's not bothered in the least by it. She's like, "Thank you so much. I've been trying to get rid of those bugs for years now." So she comes back out into the main area, and she's got, just nothing fancy. Some small food and things like that, and a jug of water. She says, "Now, what brings you to this humble house?"
I don't know which move this is, but basically I'd like to try to figure out if this is the moment to basically cut the bull crap and be direct. I don't know if that's the right... I don't know if that would be a read a bad situation move and then take it as are there dangers that we haven't noticed? Basically, is this a place to speak frankly at this,
I I'd say read a bad situation historically is more often used when you're about to start a fight or when you're walking into the tunnel or that sort of thing. I would say
squirrels appear in the golden nut.
Yes. I would say for this, let's just start out. If you just want to RP it, I'll RP with you, and
Okay.
we
No,
can.
I want to take some of her food she brought and say spasibo.
Well, I take a look around and I notice how she is, and I take a look at her house, and if she's acting normally and the house seems normally and put together, then I'm going to be direct.
Yeah, well, like I said, inside is pretty similar to the outside. Like, it's not new. It's obvious that she doesn't have anyone around who can do heavy fix it up work for her. Maybe the villagers don't want to. The fact that someone as sweet as Aubrey called her a crazy lady indicates that. But what she can do, she has. It's very clean. It's very tidy. It's a warm atmosphere, and it's by far the most welcome you felt without bribing someone so far.
You've met our friend Yafai. This is Anika, and my name is Vax.
Lovely to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you too. We're from off-world, you see, and we've heard that there have been some disturbances here in town, and we're the kind that come around and fix disturbances. Are you? Gosh darn it, I lost the thing. Martha. Would you happen to be Martha?
I would. Now, where do you hear my name? Not many people know who I am.
Well, I have a way about hearing things, so I know people, maybe they don't speak your name, but I hear things that people speak infrequently. But anyways, Martha, I do. And did she bring us food?
Mm-hmm. Just water and some of that bread.
Okay. Thank you so much, Martha. Oh, it's so refreshing. But anyways, we'd heard that what we had heard, Martha, is that you've been in town for a long time, and if anything is going on in town, and if as long as you've been here, we'd like to speak to Martha about that. Do you happen to know of something that might be troubling people here in Dead End?
Oh, these are dark times in Dead Eat indeed. It's never been a great place to live. I can't tell if you noticed that, but this is a particularly troubled times. There seems to be a presence here, a presence that makes people more afeared than before. And it's an evil presence, one that most people don't like to talk about, but I'm sure you've noticed that with those lovely big ears of yours, Vax.
He acts flattered.
I would say, in this case, we're going to go investigate a mystery. I'm going to let you... Well, actually, investigate a mystery would work perfectly for this. So she's told you that there is something in this town. something that's bothering people. So there's a monster, a presence, a force. So I'm gonna say investigate a mystery is the play here. If you want to go ahead and roll plus sharp.
Would that would be me based on this conversation? We're talking about the conversation as the check. Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to find out, basically, you've learned that there is something here, which you knew, but you've learned that she's probably going to be the person to give you that information. If you want to get actual details about this out of her, you're gonna need to earn them.
Okay, I got a 8.
Okay. Anyone want to help him out with that?
Sure.
Well, hold on. Actually, I don't think there's much you could do. I think the help out, yeah. Well, let's play by the advanced rules. That's fun. So if someone rolls help out and they can get a 12 plus, then that'll let his roll act like a 12. Otherwise, it's just going to be a +1, which will only get him up to 9.
Oh, I gotta air this one. Can you see him? I got double sixes.
Well, okay.
Oh, I got double sixes.
I'll let you do that. So then, Ross, that means that essentially you just rolled a 12. So you get a hold 2. So you can ask any of what happened here, what sort of creature is it, what can it do, what can hurt it, where did it go, what was it going to do, or what is being concealed here.
So I can pass that forward to another hunter, or I can keep it and use it later?
No, so you get the hold 2. That means you get to ask 2 of those questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Think of it as holding the keeper accountable.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's see. What can hurt it? And where did it go?
Okay. Well, let's see.
Do you want me to role play that? Or
Sure.
okay.
Well,
Caleb, you can say something? Caleb?
did you, I was on that for a second. Did Sean roll a 12 to help?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look on the
basic,
if you look at the basic moves, what I did there was I used the advanced option for help out, which is usually if you succeed on a help out, you can just add +1 to their roll. What I did was if you get a 12 plus, it turns the first hunter's roll into an automatic 12.
Yeah.
Because if he had rolled without that, he just would have gotten a +1. Ross rolled 8, so it would have still only taken him to a 9, which is still a partial success.
So actually, Sean would
Okay,
say this.
so well, I was going to say if that means that turns Ross's roll into a 12, that means Ross, you could ask any question you want, right? Not just one of the listed ones.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm fine with that.
I mean,
or if you want to stick to the list, we can do that as well.
Yeah, I mean, if we can find out where this thing is and how to put it down, that would be great. I don't know if this lady knows that, but like, I would probably start out with, but I guess actually it'd be Sean since he helped, right?
No, the help out just helps your roll, so it's still your bus here.
Oh, okay. Martha, it sounds like you've really had your ear to the ground on what's been happening with this. I guess it's been happening for a while now. But if this is as bad as it's got, what have you heard about this thing? Is this? Do you happen to know where it is?
Well, we no one adult has seen it. There are rumors that from people, the 1 or 2 people who have been willing to talk early on, that their children said at night they hear music. But as you'll find, and probably the reason whoever you talked to sent you to me, is what we found is that anytime someone spoke about it in public, the next night they seemed to be one child short. And it is only the children who hear the music. And if the children follow the music, they never come back. We've followed their tracks to the edge of the old abandoned mine, but no one dares to follow it down.
So this thing knows if you're talking about it?
I would say that's probably a good guess, my friend Yaf.
I hate that.
Are there any children left in town?
There are a few. Theo Brewer seems to have one child left, but if you ask Theo, he's only ever had one child. I'll tell you, as Theo's old friend, he used to have three.
What does that mean? According to him, he's only ever had one. If he's had three, what could that mean?
People have learned not to acknowledge it. Those that do tend to lose more children.
So you're saying that people that have had children pretend that they never had them?
Well, sir, if you lost one child and then you went and told everyone about it, and the next night you lost another child, you probably wouldn't talk about it anymore either.
Martha, I think this universe is wise enough at least not to allow Vax to have children.
She thinks that's kind of funny. So, people don't talk about it. Children are the lifeblood of this community. Just gentlemen and ladies, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's a small town. We don't have anyone but ourselves. To lose a child is a terrible, terrible thing.
And you said that these children, the trail leads off to a mine?
It does. The old abandoned mine on the east side of town. About one click east.
That is written there.
Are there no authorities here on Kepler 186 that could... someone must provide the whatever's being mined here. It must be shipped out to a corporation.
Oh, it's been a long time since anything was mined from this soil. Mr. Vax, we at this point are subsistence. We farm, we raise what we need, and sometimes our craftsmen will make runs into the big city to sell things, but we don't mine anymore. That mine hasn't been used in generations. And until whatever this thing is moved in, no one had given it a second thought.
How long have you lived here, Martha?
Oh, I've lived here as long as I've been Martha.
Well, and in all your time here, there's nothing that could have happened in all those years before the children started to disappear, something that maybe could have been related to the mine?
She says, well, there are rumors of things down in that mine, long lost things. Things uncovered in the mining processes that were left alone. Horrible things, dark things, never monsters. But things that were once thought treasures and only brought sorrow. So I don't know if that's what this thing is after. But I'd say it's not a bad guess.
What kind of sorrow did it bring? Something made people sick when they mined it? What did it do?
That's been lost to the sands of Kepler. We only know that there are parts of this mine shaft that have been shut down. That mine was relatively new when those things were discovered, and it was quickly abandoned.
Yeah, maybe not so lost.
It appears it has a new inhabitant.
You guys got any ideas?
I mean, seems like we know that we have a direction of where we can go to find this thing, but I don't know if timing is what we have to figure out.
I will tell you, I think you guys, Kilby said you need to be done by midnight.
Preferably, I mean, I could go a little later.
Well, I'll tell you out of character, I think you guys have the time if you want to use it.
It feels like we have a pretty specific location. Not only do we know that it's the mine, but we know that it's the new mining area within the mine. If we could gain information, but I guess there's no one left, and this is the oldest lady in town, and she doesn't seem like a miner, so I don't know if maybe Phi has like a sort of like a stealth. Don't you have like a crawling into spaces? That didn't I read something about that somewhere about like kind of, or is that more like a, where did I read that? Do you have something like that where you can kind of sneak into places and figure out what's going on?
I mean,
just in terms of like knowing it once we get in there, like knowing where to go and being able to get after this thing, and
I'm trying to remember if there's anything specific to a monster like along those lines.
Yeah. And then obviously we need a child for bait.
I know where we can get one.
Is that the first common that Anika has spoken?
No, she's made comments. She said spasibo earlier for the snacks and water, and
I said common. Is that the first common that she has spoken?
no, maybe.
All right. Well, what would you guys like to do?
I think if we, I think what we need to try, what would be nice, like what we could do is we could go to Theo or to the brewers, and we could gain information and set up our bait. And so that's the thing that would allow us to activate this monster and then go into the mine, like, or maybe we need to already be in the mine and then launch the ambush or a trap by having the child kidnapped or something. But we need to activate this monster because people can never find it, right? Because adults aren't having this problem, or did they say adults are disappearing?
No, just kids.
So, like, we need to activate this thing, and then we need to take it down. So there are two pieces of information that are missing. One is that we don't know how to kill it. Like, we don't actually know what it is. So we don't know how to kill it. We don't know anything about it. And the other thing is we don't know anything about the mine. So we could get in there and not know how to get to this thing, or
So that's where your roles come in handy, right? So since this is session 1, I'll probably be jumping in a lot like that with, I guess, advice like that. So things like that's where investigative mystery really comes in handy, because you can
like read a bad situation.
Yeah, so if you walked into a mine and rolled succeeded on investigative mystery, you could possibly find out where did it go. That's not something you have to ask people. Like, obviously, as with an ERP, I can say, like, well, you see a trail of blood, blah blah blah.
I'm thinking
whatever.
too tactically. Yeah, I need to. Yeah. We could get there and figure this out. That's true.
You've all. Go ahead. No.
The bait or what will activate this monster seems to be the remaining child of Theo Brewer.
I'll tell you this, as your keeper, if your plan is to go try to get Theo's kid.
No.
Okay,
That's too evil to me.
You're gonna.
I don't know. I'm more like that. It just seems like if Theo Brewer's kid is one of the last kids left in town, that's the target. So, like, that's the thing that we need to be concerned about. Like, I guess that is kind of evil. But that is the center of gravity of this monster. Like, is that child? So, or whatever children are left. So, that's how we're gonna find this monster. Because apparently people have already tried to find it.
I mean, do we want to wait around until we feel like that kid's in risk, or are we trying to like really kick this thing into gear? Because I mean, Yaf doesn't love the idea of like using a kid as bait, but I mean, he is there to kick ass, and so
if child gets in danger, Annika build wall.
I don't know if that's some abstract Russian proverb or if you.
No,
really plan to do
one of
that.
my magic forms is wall. So like I'll
Okay.
literally put a wall between it and the monster.
Yeah. Well, we do have some tools these townspeople don't have. But my concern is if we go all the way to the mine, it won't help us. But either way, there's more information waiting for us at the brewers.
Mm-hmm.
To the
Is that
brewers.
To the brewers.
Two brewers. Boston Brewers.
All right. Can you all see the brewer's house?
Yes.
Do you have music
Yeah.
for it, Joel? I know you do.
This one I don't think I did.
Oh, that's fine. Because the last one stopped. I don't think you looped it. That's what happened.
Oh, did I not loop it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I was
Yeah,
like,
we'll
is
do
there
this.
music? Because I like it. So I'm just like, it's so good.
Yeah. Well, we'll throw in some music here.
I can hear the depression in his voice. You better throw music in.
I'm losing Ross.
Pilot's already at risk, man. Don't make it worse. Come on.
I'm losing my viewability here. Okay. You all have made it to the brewer's house. It's a pretty nice house. Well upkept.
Another house with only one door. This is weird to me.
Well, I mean, if you're building, huts out of rudimentary materials in a remote town, you're probably not throwing a ton of excess doors in there.
Seems like just one for an escape route, though, you know?
I go up to the door and knock.
Hello there. What can I do for you?
He opens the door. Okay.
Theo Brewer does open the door.
Hello, sir. Are you Theo Brewer?
Depends on who's asking.
Let's see. Well, person asking is Vax Chernin. My name's Vax, and this is my friend Annika and Yavai. And we're from off-world, actually. But we're investigators of sorts. And, we need some help trying to understand some things about your town. They said that you were reliable people, so just wondering if you could be willing to help some people from off-world.
He's pretty suspicious. He said, "Why don't you cut through all the pretty talk and just tell me what it is you want?"
Oh, I definitely want to use Grifter.
Okay.
And what I want to know is, like, how am I going to get this guy to tell me everything, about, like, what happened with his kids? Because I know he's not going to want to tell me because he's pretending to everyone that he's, not got other kids or not had other kids. So, what's his weakness?
I'm gonna make this one hurt, Russ. He eyes. I think as soon as he opens, he's eyeing that big old knife around your waist.
Okay. Okay. He takes it out and whips it. You like it? I got it from Proxima Centauri, actually. Alpha Centauri 2.
Well, it's certainly a nice knife. I will say that, sir.
Yeah, these types of metals, they don't make it out here to these outer worlds very much. It can. It has a filament on its edge, you see, and he takes it out and I slice it. I take a random object and I just slice it like that, like one of those. What do you call it? Shinsitsu, like freaking cooking
The knife demos.
Yeah, it's like a knife demo. I'm like that. And I'm like, yeah, you just. It's hard to find metals like that out here. Lucky I have it, actually.
Anything you wanted other than just to show me your pretty knife?
Well, yeah. Actually, you have some things that I need. I'd be willing to make a trade.
He's got his hand on the door. And you can see he's got his hand behind his back as well. So what kind of trade are we talking?
off-worlders like us just feel lost in this town. Theo, just don't know our way around. Don't know what's on the west side of town. We don't know what's on the east side of town.
Well, I can give you a map if that's what you're wanting.
Oh, map won't do me any good if I don't know what's on it.
He said, look, I can draw you a map. I can point out where everything is. Will that get you out of my hair?
It won't get you this nice knife from the inner worlds. But I understand. And he puts the knife back.
Theo says, whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Tell me exactly what it is I can help you with. And cut all the bullshit. I ain't got time for that. I got a job to do.
What is it that you do, Theo?
Theo is a carpenter.
A carpenter. These fine buildings in town, you help, obviously you work on them. Have you helped build some of them?
I laid a hand on a couple of them, sure enough.
If you ever get a chance, it's a real shame. You really ought to go help out old Martha. I know she probably doesn't have the credits to pay for it, but you know that building, it could use some help. We just had a chat with Martha. She's a really nice lady.
He starts to close the door a little bit. He said, Martha, we don't like to bother ourselves with Martha. Bad things only happen to people that mingle with that woman.
Bad things. You seem like a really, what does Theo look like?
He's a big man.
Yeah, I'm like...
He's big, burly man. Like, you can tell he's been working hard his entire life. I'd say in Imperial units, he's probably a good 6'5", 6'6", built like a freaking oak.
Vax looks him up and down and is like, Theo, what sort of bad things could be bothering you?
Oh, things that come when you aren't expecting it, I would say. But I'm not interested in talking about all that. Is there something I can help you with or not?
Well, Theo, the thing I need help with is I need to talk about some things. I understand that you don't want to talk, but you know, my friends and I, we could really help some things out with you. This knife, we've got other things.
All right, roll, man. Roll that beautiful dice. See if you can manipulate him or not.
I think it's, what is it? Charm? Yeah.
And I'm going to give you that +1 for if you give him the knife.
7. I give him the knife and it makes it an 8. So
all right.
Knock off my knife.
So, you give him the knife. He says, "Talk fast. I got things to do. I'll help you. I'll help you if I can."
I'm gonna read this as like, this is how Theo really is. So I'm like, all right, Theo. Here's how it is. The mine. Where is it? What's in it? Do you know anybody who used to work there? And tell me what happened to your kids.
He says, "Well, I'll answer those in the order you asked them, sir. The mine is 1 click due east of town. You start heading towards that ridge line, right past that rocky outcrop. You'll get straight to it. As far as what's in it, sir, I'd say there's probably a whole lot of old rocks down there. And in terms of anybody work there, there's nobody been working in that mine for a good 4 or 5 generations at least. And I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I have and only ever have had 1 child. Now, please get the fuck off my porch."
I want to
For a knife.
I want to slam my staff on the ground, to startle him when he says he only has ever had the 1 child, and be like, "You will have no child if you keep this up."
So,
I'm sure that she means to say that your child is in danger and not by her. I hope.
Depends on man
no.
attitude.
He said,
No.
"Look," he said, "Well." So Theo says, "Look, you all seem like good people. I don't know anything about any of these other children you're talking about, but I do know that this place isn't safe for kids at night. I wouldn't ever want my one child to be out of their locked bedroom at night. Things might happen. Things happen to little kids that walk outside at night. They're likely to get hurt or wander off or get attacked by something. Nothing like that has ever happened to me, of course, but I would be very careful at night, and we keep a close eye on my one child. Make sure she doesn't get into something that could hurt her." That mine is not a safe place. If there was something down there, I wouldn't let my kids go near it. As it is, we've kept our daughter locked safe in her room at night, and nothing seems to have come of it.
You guys got any ideas? You want to make any moves?
I mean, that pretty much did all I just had right there. I don't know. I ain't got really nothing.
I'd like to investigate a mystery and try to see if there's any signs around the cabin or cottage, whatever, that showed like how the child or children were taken. Like if I can tell anything about the monster that did it. Or I
Okay.
guess that's a specific question. I'll just investigate a mystery and then.
Yeah. So roll plus sharp, which is 0 for you.
Yeah. Damn. It's only at 5.
Yeah. So that's a failure. So I'm going to say Theo sees Gaff, you poking around. He says, "Look, I think I've been as helpful as I possibly can be, but I'd appreciate it if you'd get off my property."
We thank you for your help, sir, kindness, and your help, sir. And, things are gonna change around this town. It's gonna get better. And yep.
"Well, I certainly hope so, sir." And then he closed the door.
Should we wait? You said we could finish this in an hour, like before midnight. You said.
I think you can.
Shoot, guys. What do you want to do? Go to the mine?
I suspect we should go to mine, yes.
Okay.
I do not think little girl wandering off in any other direction will occur.
Yeah, I feel like trying to. That is kind of damn evil to use a child for bait, but even if we even if we ever tried to watch, or even if we tried to do that, I'm worried it wouldn't actually if worst case scenario is we go. Well, worst case scenario is we die. But second to that, we go to the mine and we don't find anything anyways because we can't figure it out, and then we have to loop back and try to work on it from there. So.
What time of day is it now that we've gone through all this questioning and gone to these different places?
So I would say between those, it's starting to get towards dusk. I'd say if this were a 24-hour day, which it's not, but we'll just say for the sake of argument it is. I would say you're looking at 5:30, closing in on 6.
I was just looking for dawn or dusk kind of thing, but I want to amend my previous statement. Then actually, what I want to say to Vax is, I want to say we should go to mine, but it is already getting dark. I believe it will be too late. I believe the monster will be out hunting. As much as we would not want to use. Wow, where did I suddenly get fucking Aussie from? As much as using child as bait is discussed, D-I-S-G-U-S-T, disgust. I don't think we have much choice now. I believe by the time we reach mine, monster will not be there.
Out of character, can you help me understand that?
Well, so they keep saying it happens at night all the time,
Yeah,
and he's saying it's kind of like evening time right now, dusk time.
yeah.
So by the time we get to the mine, what I'm saying is, as much as we don't want to use the little girl as bait, by the time we get to the mine at this point, the monster's not going to be in it. It's going to be out hunting.
Oh, you're saying at night it's out anyways.
Yeah, so like even if we go to the mine, it's not going to be there because it's going to be out trying to get a child. So I'm thinking as much as we don't want to use a little girl as bait, we don't really have a choice.
So my
Anymore.
question is, for you, can't you use magic somehow? Like, isn't that like a whole other broad category of being able to interface with things? Like, you have like an equivalent to like detect magic and like, you know, detect good and evil.
And it's kind of just combat magic, really.
Testing.
I mean, there might be more magic that I'm unaware of, but in terms of like the necessary stuff in front of me.
Because I got basic moves, use magic. When you use magic, say what you're trying to achieve and how you do the spell. So it sounds like it's whatever you come up with, right? Oh wait, no, you only have certain effects. Inflict harm, enchant a weapon, do something beyond human limits, bar a place. Okay. Banish a spirit. Oh, you could protect the little girl. You could set a trap for it.
Oh wait, okay. I didn't even see that list of shit there, man. I've been like all over these documents, and I've avoided the use magic because I figured my magic's on my character sheet. Stupid me.
Anyone who wants to take 5 to go pee, I'd say let's go ahead and do that at this point.
Yeah, I'll do that too. And
Okay.
I'm out of. I don't know if you want to look at that, Sean. I don't know if there's anything you could do, Caleb. I think my people skills have been exhausted, though. I don't know if there's anything else I can do. If you have ideas, I'm up for it. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay, now I've got an idea when we get back together. But for now, I'll be distracted. Excuse me. Excuse me.
You guys come up with anything?
I had an idea, yes, actually. I was looking at the use magic, and there is magic to observe another place. So ideally, now that we know where the mine is, I could keep an eye on it now that it's getting dark. And then we could figure out where the monster is headed from there and decide what to do.
I don't know how long this takes, but it looks like you can do rituals to summon monsters and all kinds of crap.
So I'll tell you guys this in a sort of meta sense as you get a feel for this. When you look at the dynamics of this game, it's not that it all happens literally within a single day, but the dynamics of the game likes to use a day sort of model. So I think I mentioned this to Ross a little while back. this is not like this is not a consequence-free game. Like the longer you guys don't do things, like I'm allowed to wantonly kill NPCs. So there are situations in other types of games where waiting and watching, or maybe even in this game where waiting and watching makes sense. I'm not going to tell you how to play it.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying like wait and watch. Like, can I move while I'm keeping a constant eye on the entrance of the mines, or like it doesn't say I have to stand still when I do it that I'm aware of.
Right.
It would just kind of depend on what I roll at that point, I think.
Okay. And that would be, I guess, a use magic.
So I kind of want to do what I did with Felsane when I was master of the dungeon and everybody was in it talking shit behind my back. just like have one eye watching the mine while I'm kind of just like watching my own footing as we travel, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like perhaps I can use like a stone or something as like a scrying stone with this magic. Because we're not trying to study it, we're just trying to figure out if it leaves, which direction is it going, so we can change course and hunt it down.
I suppose is it fair to say, broadly speaking, we have one of two options right now. And the keeper has just like given us, I think, an important bit of info. We can either freaking go in and bust the door down and try to find this thing and kill it, or we can try to stay out of the mine, whether it's between here and there or here in the town, and try to hunt it outside of the mine, on the assumption that it would not be in the mine. I'm thinking we should go in the mine, and let's go for it. Let's just try to hunt it down and kill the thing.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I'm just saying, I think as we're going, I want to try and use this observe another place magic to watch like the entrance of the mine. So if it does come out of the mine while we're headed there, we can change course to try and intercept it. Is my goal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Caleb, what do you think?
So, Yaf, with its kind of dealings and experience with the underworld, has gotten very used to this method of kind of lay back, watch, see what evolves, and use the situation to its benefit. So, kind of rushing in head first doesn't really fit with Yaf's kind of MO, for lack of a better term. So, it is more preferential to kind of like sitting back and watching the cave and trying to understand the situation a little more thoroughly before we jump in and start trying to kick ass.
Yeah.
Yef is from Wait and See tribe.
Okay. So I'm all for it. How can we bring that about? You got magic. Yeah. Do you have any thing that we can use? Do you have a hunting ability or something like?
I don't have anything specific that would be like a stakeout material. I mean, so Yaf's gonna say, well, we know that if, people are saying if you talk about this monster, it comes out and it finds you, so why don't we talk about it? Is there a way we can make ourselves big?
None of us are children.
None of us have children. Well, I don't.
I don't know. I'm stumped.
While they're discussing this, I want to do the observe another place magic on a small rock to try and use it as a scrying stone. Can I do that?
I'll let you roll for it. What's the roll there?
10 plus, it works without issue. 7 and 9, it works imperfectly, and there are glitches or things that you can do.
Oh, so this is a use magic roll?
Yeah, under use magic, yeah.
And you're using the
observe another place. Yeah. I just kind of want to keep an eye on the entrance to the mines, and I don't want to waste time while they're discussing this.
Okay.
I think I'm out of tricks.
13.
Okay.
11 plus 2, Jesus.
All right. So I'm going to say it works. What is it you want to look at?
I just want to keep this rock in front of one of my eyes so I can just like watch it the whole time. And if the thing comes out, I want to be able to know where it's going. Basically. That's
So
my
I'm
whole purpose.
not gonna let this run like an ongoing. It's not like a concentration spell in 5e. We're gonna say this is more like if you opened a portal and you stuck your head through and then you stuck your head back out, so you can take a look.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let you just open up a camera feed in your mind's eye and keep it rolling the whole time we're doing this.
No, I mean like literally like using the rock as a little tiny window, kind of. But it's a small rock. That's why you gotta look at it so hard.
So what is it? What is it you're looking at? Sorry, I think I misunderstood.
Literally just the entrance to the mine. Like if because it's getting close to night,
Oh, I
so I
see
know
what
the thing's gonna come out to hunt. So I just want to know if it comes out to hunt before we get there.
Okay.
I don't know what these guys are trying to decide at this, whether we're going or not in the first place. So
You don't see any tracks coming out of the mine.
boys, this is how you say suspicious. There is I check mine while you two yabber like children, and there's no tracks out of mine.
What do you guys think we should do?
Given this new bit of information, I think we should wait and watch for one of the children to be abducted and fucking follow it. Yeah, it's gonna suck if we don't save the kid, but at this point, if there's no tracks in or out of the mine, then there's something going on we're not aware of still with how the monster's getting in and out of the mine. I mean, going to the entrance isn't gonna help us anymore.
Can you, I mean, I think I saw something here where it says you can make a trap for the monster using magic. Trap a specific person, minion, or monster.
Yeah, but if there's no tracks in or out of the mine, then the spot I found where the entrance of the mine is won't be worth trapping.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the entrance to the mine.
Trap the child to protect it.
Yeah. I mean, if we know that they're... Also, did we get the impression that Theo's child is like the last child in town? Or is there other children?
I'm kind of having that impression, yeah, but I don't know that that's actually the case.
Well,
So question for the keeper. When it says under like magic effects, summon a monster into the world, is that like a monster that's on a different plane and we can summon it to us? Or like if there's a monster, so in this example, could we like summon the monster to us?
I don't know. This monster is already in the world, so no,
I don't think we can summon them big.
I don't think I'm not going to let you. Yeah, I don't think that's intended for you to be able to pull the big bad right to your location.
Gotcha. I figured, but I wanted to remove that possibility.
Okay. So what do
Ross
y'all?
learned a similar lesson.
What would you all like to do?
we're going to set up a trap, but I don't have any tools to do that. So it's going to be up to you. Looks like it's going to be up to
Anika?
is what I'm thinking. Like, you got to come up with some, like, stuff to trap and...
Well, I mean, okay, so there's only one way in or out if the child doesn't climb through windows, so can we just, like, put a trap in front of the door that will trap anything smaller than an adult?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a magic trap, so I'm not sure we actually need any kind of materials. It would just...
Well,
Can we just, like, set up a paralyzing rune or something that targets children?
because it
So-
has a thing that says you can trap a monster, right? So could we just trap the monster and try to kill it?
Well, but, I mean, the monster's not going into town. It's luring people out like the Pied Piper.
Oh, so we're planning to follow this child out, is what we're going to try to do. And this is like one of those fairy tales. And we're like going to try to follow the child. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we just need to wait for nightfall and follow the child when it comes out.
Okay.
But I also think we should spread out so we can see other houses in case this is not the child that gets abducted.
Well, it's all
I don't know how many children are in town. It's kind of irking me that we didn't figure that out right now.
it's all like the future in crap, right? So like, do we have like comm devices and stuff? Is that, I mean,
I'll say you guys have, small communicators.
okay,
You can talk. I would assume in a world of intergalactic space travel that you guys are,
right?
or
I mean,
that you
I can
are
get
able
my
to
hands-
communicate over short distances.
I got a dang cell phone for God's sakes. I got an iPhone, so I mean, I guess things could have got worse by then. It looks like it's going that way anyways. So
Unless they somehow only got worse in the world of mobile telecommunication,
right.
then yes.
Well,
Yeah,
this
you
is-
guys.
You said this was an alternate universe. Okay, so anyways, oh crap. Oh, I know. I want to be able to try to determine where I think other children might be in this town. Is that like? Can I do an investigation check for that? What is it?
It would be an investigate. I'll say
Investigate a mystery.
it's investigate a mystery, and I'll let you ask that question.
You know,
Like,
I'm looking
we'll call
I'm looking
that
for
what is being concealed here.
play
We'll say
marks, tire swings, toys in the yard. You know, places that are obviously like their hover car has a children on board sticker, whatever. I don't.
Yeah, but that would just tell you places that have had children, not ones that have children left.
Well, I would say it's probably safe to assume that people are also pretending they don't have kids if they maybe lost one. What'd you roll there, bud? Did you roll a double snake eyes there?
Ooh.
Oh, buddy.
Oh my god.
Well,
How did you know?
That's the lowest possible roll.
That is that's truly the worst.
Well,
Thankfully, on
this
this
is a
one,
game where you learn from your mistakes.
on I forgot to be telling you guys. Anyone who's rolled a 6 or lower, I know Ross, you marked the first one, but you need to mark experience for that.
Yeah,
We haven't had that many rolls, so I don't think I've missed
It's
that many.
It's 2 each for those two guys. I have not rolled below a 6 yet.
both of my rules have been garbage.
Okay, so mark 2 experience, Caleb and Ross. Now that was your second. I almost feel bad enough to give you double experience, but I'm not going to because I don't think there's any. As far as I know, there's no negative repercussions for failing an investigate a mystery check. I'll just say that people are. I'll say this. I'll say people are starting to be pretty suspicious that it's almost dark and there is a obviously well-armed stranger in much nicer clothes than the average farmer around here, like looking in people's yards at their kids' stuff. So I'd say I'm not going to do anything to you. I think you probably need to chill it with the looking at kids' toys thing.
Okay.
Or-
Yeah.
They're about to start a lynch mob, you mean?
It's getting close. It's getting close. They haven't had a good lynching in a while, so.
Yeah. Community Watch is not enjoying a trench-coated man walking around looking for children's toys. I got it.
Really anywhere in the galaxy. No, I've never known of anyone enjoying that.
Okay.
Okay. So your guys' plan is what?
So we have a rendezvous point, and like we're gonna be able to get to it, so we don't get picked off by this entity, that evil that kills things, probably. So we have a plan for that, and we have a way to communicate, and we're gonna try to. Oh yeah. Here's a map. That's great. So like, Magic Lady is gonna stay. Where's
So this is the inn.
Brewer's house?
The brewer's house is right here.
Okay.
This is Martha's house out here. This is the old rundown church, and then the rest are just houses. This house out here, it looks like ruins in there, but I'm gonna say that's just an abandoned house. Like the roof's a little caved in, but it's still habitable, we'll say.
I want to hide in this bush.
Okay, I'll let you hide in
And
the bush.
I'm gonna like watch up the road for any children coming to the south.
Okay.
It looks like if I were hiding out at the old abandoned church, I would have like I'd be able to see these buildings.
Or maybe the gray-skinned monster would match the abandoned church better. I don't know what material it's made of, but just saying.
Okay. So is everyone finding a spot to camp out?
Yeah, I think that's the idea at this point.
Okay. All right. So, let's see, Yaf. What are you wanting to do, Yaf?
Oh, I was just. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I was trying to find my little icon.
Yeah, it's a big map.
Yeah, couldn't see it. I am. You said the brewer's house was here. Is that it?
Yes, that is the brewer's house.
Okay. I'm gonna try to kind of like.
This is here. I'll throw you a bone. This right here is what probably used to be an old guards tower, and now it's falling into disrepair. I would say if you were built like a normal full-size human male, it would probably be unsafe to climb. But if you were lighter than that, you could probably get up inside of it.
Oh, perfect. Well, I was just gonna hide in this bush, but since I'm a scrambly, small little alien thing, I'm gonna.
Okay, then I'm gonna like move north and hide in a different bush from the other end of town, just so I can see if any other children try to leave town.
Okay, so everyone.
trying to spread us out, and everyone's kind of congregating to the south.
Where's our rendezvous point if we get in trouble? All right, in here in the middle, or like over here in the middle?
I mean, yeah, just somewhere on the main road. If you see trouble on the main road, go help.
Yeah. I mean, if one of us gets in trouble, we need to get together. And broken arrow on this.
Yeah, just lure them somewhere on the main road, somewhere around here. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'd say it's starting to get closer and closer to nightfall. You all are in your spots and are watching as the red sun slowly begins to go down. You all feel yourself start to get a little tired, and you don't fall asleep. But right before you're about to doze off, from the center of town, you hear a horrible commotion. You hear screaming, and you hear people yelling, and lights are turning on, and it's coming from the tavern. What do you do?
I'm gonna start. Running.
Sorry. What'd you say?
I just said I'm gonna start like running that direction. I guess kind of head this way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna round the corner and try to see what's going on.
I'm also gonna head that way, but I'm gonna stand on the other side of the street while these two like go in case something happens.
Okay.
Like I'm suspecting I may be able to help better from a distance.
All right. So you all are walking. You walk up. The door is ajar. Walking into the Remington, you can see broken glass lying on the floor, and there's a lot of people congregated outside, and they're all talking, and you can't really tell what's going on, and they're all ignoring you. You can hear over the hubbub, over the murmur of people talking, you can hear Remington himself. You can hear his voice roaring in the back room. And you all, what do you guys do?
I hide in this bush and watch the rest of the town a little bit, just in case this is a ploy.
I'm gonna try to investigate a mystery to see what happened here.
Okay. Roll plus sharp.
Can I like join him and try to help him? Like, so we're both doing it? Here we go.
So does that change my roll any?
Sorry, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 7.
Okay, so that's a partial success. So you get a hold 1. And Ross? Did you say you wanted to help him?
Yeah, I mean, since he's investigating it, I figured I'd come up and. What do your alien eyes see? Yeah.
So if you roll help, I'll give you the advanced roll. If you can pull off a 12 plus, I'll let you change his roll to a total success. But if not, it's not going to help him.
I did not.
Okay. So you get a hold 1. Yeah. What would you like to know?
I want to know what happened here.
Okay. The three of you, or anyone who wants, Yaf, are you, Anika, are you going to stay outside?
I mean, yeah, that's where all the people are. I'm kind of just like keeping an eye on things.
Okay.
If any, like, if this is a ploy and children go missing from a house right now, you know, I'm keeping an eye on the street, keeping an eye on these people down here.
Right.
I figure they've got the inside covered for now.
Okay. Well, Yaf and Vax, you all head inside, and you head past the bar. You can see the doors open, and you can hear Remington's voice roaring. He's furious, and you can tell he's scared and upset. And you walk into the back room where Remington is, and a most horrible smell hits you. And you can see what Remington's looking at is in the corner the mutilated corpse of who appears to be Audrey. Audrey there's in the corner a large mill, where they have the two large stones that sit on top of each other, and it appears that she has placed her head in between the two millstones. Remington you've managed to get Remington calmed down, and he looks at you, and he's crying and yelling and furious at the same time, and he says, "We don't know what happened. We were back here, and Audrey and I were closing up for the night, and then out of nowhere, she just walked over to the millstone and placed her head in between the two stones and was crushed to death. Her head exploded like a goddamn melon." And then he said, "And then that happened." And you look on the back wall, and written on the wall in blood are the words, "Bad things happen to people who answer questions." And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Oh wow.
Oh fuck! Oh my god! Millstone.
Well, I'm gonna sleep great tonight.
I mean, I still got like 2 hours to forget all this before I turn in. So yeah, I'm good.
So what do you guys think?
I think I'm gonna have to.
I'm
Start
having fun.